Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you the daily word for men for February 8th, 2025. And before I begin this, as I mentioned before, I taped some of these ahead. I'm planning on a mini vacation, so I'm trying to get as far ahead as these programs as I can. And last night I went to bed early and I was reading before I went to bed, so I didn't see anything on television. And I did two early um, vlogs, one for Daily Word for Man, one for AA Word of the Day. And then I went in, had a cup of coffee, and turned on the news. I had no idea about the crash of the helicopter and the plane carrying the figure skaters. And I just feel really bad. And it's scary. When I was watching it, they said they switched to a recovery operation rather than a rescue. So my prayers go out to the family of all the victims, and I hope the situation is resolved as soon as possible. And thank God for the rescuers and those people doing the recovery operation. Those waters, they said they were like 20 to 30 degrees. And I know what's that's like. I took a scuba course at Rhode Island College in 1990, the spring of 1998, and we were going to old reservoirs right over the border in Connecticut. In We started the freshwater diving in March, so the water was there was ice on some of the water, so I know how cold that water can be. God bless them in their work. So the word for today is deliberate. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. That is from Proverbs 4:26, the NIV. Mom watched a 3-year-old boy reach for the ball and throw it. It bounced across the room and popped up onto a shelf, knocking a decorative carving to the floor. Curiously, she watched to see what he would do next. He had seen it before, but something intrigued him about it this time. He went over, picked up the decoration, and studied it. It was heavier than the ball, kind of round, but not a ball. He looked at his mom with a twinkle in his eye and asked, "What would happen if I threw this?" Being deliberate means we carefully consider an action and then take it. It is a strength in those who are patient. When you develop a habit of decision making this way, it lends to success in life. Those who fail, not in one act but over a lifetime, tend to act irrationally and with haste. The question this boy asked demonstrated his wisdom beyond his years, although folly would have prevailed if he had decided to throw the decoration after his mother's instruction not to. That would have led to some good old fashioned proverbial discipline. What process have you embraced for making deliberate decisions? Well, I'm a senior citizen now, so I I don't have a workplace in which to make decisions, although I do volunteer and I have a student that I'm teaching GED math to, but only one student this time, so it's I can kind of custom make things to the way he learns rather than the way I teach. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, I think over the course of coming April will be I'll be 75. So yeah, having lived a life, I think I learned a few things, and I keep them in mind. I've seen people crash and burn. I've seen people try to lie their way out of situations, uh, and it doesn't turn out well. So I have that experience in me. Usually, I would the process would be, depending on the how would you put it, depending on how big the decision that I'm making is. If it's to go out to the movies, if it's raining, well, then I won't go out. If it's a big decision, it might involve certain areas of faith. I'll consult God's word. In my church, we are encouraged to join men's groups, small ones, so that we can get to know each other and have like accountability partners. And that's a good idea. I can consult a accountability partner that I trust. I would, for anything to do with my family, I would consult my remaining family. When my mother was very ill and gave all the signs of having stomach problems, and seeing that three of her siblings died of stomach cancer, we thought that maybe it was. So all the kids got together except my brother, Michael, who was very ill in New Hampshire. And we got together with my mom, and she said yes, she knew that there was a possibility that she had stomach cancer, but she didn't want to be tested because she wasn't going to do anything about it. She had already lost at that point three sons, and she said, I'm ready for whatever God has for me. So don't worry about it. That's my wish, that I just carry on till I don't anymore. And so that was her answer. She said it clear and understandable, and we all respected her wish, because she got a lot of pressure when she went to the hospital for the pain to take further tests, do this. You might have stomach cancer. We can do surgery. And she was 86 years old and didn't want to go through that. She could see the end, and she wanted to be with God and with her sons. Uh, of course, always I consult my conscience. It's important to have a well formed conscience. And because I'm in a recovery program, every night I do an examination of conscience and try to make amends immediately for things that I've done, not let them go on and fester and become another sort of form of cancer in myself. So I do that. And those are the steps that I take. And it's worked well for me. I don't have the pressing issues that I did if I were younger. A family to support, uh, a job to try to keep on to. And so the pressure's off, and the temptation to maybe exaggerate, um, enhance, when you do a resume, and you want to make taking out the garbage look good. So you put down you were in charge of recycling efforts and stuff like that. And so I don't have that pressure. But the other pressure that I have is I'm not going to live another 75 years, and I have to get my house in order. I have to get serious about obeying God's word and getting right with God. And I try to do that on a daily basis. So that's my take on this. I try to be very deliberate. I took a deliberate decision to start start these videos because I had never done anything like that, and I'm still operating on my Fire HD8 tablet. I did get a lot of bling. I put the 1 terabyte card in there, so I'm not always downloading stuff every single second, so that I can fit more on there. And I've been backing everything up. I make a printed list, and I back all my programs up so that if anything ever happened, I do have them, and I can refer to them. I have them on a spreadsheet by subject. That's my nerdy mind that I have. Very nerdy. I like to make things a spreadsheet so I can access them quickly. So that's it. Have a safe and holy day, and see you tomorrow.